afternoon, everybody. All is well. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Right. Um, I just noticed that the scores for the uh, end of course tests are already in Infinite Campus, so they are reflecting already on your grades. So you need to take a look at that. This is your opportunity to make up any missing assignments that could possibly make that grade look a little better. Right, again, right now I'm looking at only 3 people have completed dichotomous keys. So you have that and the final project to work on. Let me go here, look up who has done their quiz. All right, so the dichotomous key gizmo also has a quiz at the end. So and only 4 people have done that. I've updated all of the Nearpods. So if you've done a Nearpod that I don't know about, but you don't see a grade for it, let me know. I'll go back in and check on it. Right, and I'm still pulling folks out to have a chat. Before I make these phone calls home. Really trying, folks. Okay, I will show you that again. All right. Okay, someone asked about the charts for the project. If you, okay, let me pull up a Word document. Hold on, so I can give you an example of how to do this. What did you just do? Okay, I'm going to pull up a Word document and show you how to do this. And I'm not sure that yours will work the same because you will use Cami and things like that, but I can give you an idea of how to do it. Oh, can I get this what I want? All right, Talasi, I was trying to invite you into a one-on-one, but you didn't come. Trying, folks. I'm trying, but yo, I can't do what you won't do. All right, I'm gonna share this document with you and show you how I would create. All right, folks. Someone asked me, how would you make your chart for the assignment? I'm in Word, and if I go to Insert, I can insert a table, how many rows and columns I wanted to have. So I wanted to have 3 columns because we want one that says organism, and you want one for each of the pictures, and then you want kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So you want it to look like that. And then it created that. And then what you do, so over here I would put okay, then you can stretch your thing. So in this box, I want the name say organisms. And then using the same, that would give me, come on, paste. Yeah. There. And then I can come back up here and say squirrel. Like you. Image. And stick my squirrel over here. And then over here, I would do okay, that's how I would set it up. And then you can type in whatever information you need. If the boxes need to be a little bigger, you can make them bigger. But I did that by inserting a chart. So when you say insert a table, then you choose. So again, I chose 3 columns, and I use all of the boxes going down because I needed all of those, so I can set it up like that. And you do the same thing with the next page for characteristics. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. Does anybody else have a question about how to set this up? Okay, so you want to have slide one, you want that to be slide one, slide two is similar to that in that you want the slide two to be a characteristics chart. So again, you have the pictures of the two organisms, and then you have, so again, you're setting up 3 columns. And this one is called characteristics. So you want type of living thing, plant or animal, what kind of covering do they have? How do they get their food? How do they move? Where do they live? How they reproduce, and any other characteristics that you feel might be interesting. Again, please do not use my example. Get your own. Okay. Get your own. But this is to show you how that should be set up. And that's just the first 2 slides. All right, so that takes care of common name, full classification, and a description of physical. Actually, that's the first 3 points. Okay, description of thing. The next slides, I really would like for you to separate these out. So take your animal and talk about where they live and what kind of ecosystem they're existing in, what the role is of them in the ecosystem. And again, by role, we mean, are they the predator, the prey? Are they the keystone species? Are they important to the ecosystem? Will it fall down without them? Circle of life kind of thing. And then an interesting fact. And then you want to switch to your plant and do the same thing. Okay. Pictures. So you can have a picture of that organism in that ecosystem. And a picture with your interesting fact. So that's about almost 4, 5 pictures altogether, 6. Okay. Clear organization, which means make those charts like I showed you. Accurate information. Make sure you write down your sources. Where'd you get the pictures from? So, and again, when you click on a picture, like I just now took the picture from but you want to do this. So that you actually have a real source for where you got the information from. So in actuality, this is the source for the picture. Okay. So, and then when you click on you visit the site for your picture, chances are you will find all the other information that you need. This is interesting stuff, what they look like when they're babies and how they survive, breeding information, diet, habitat. So you'll find most of the information that you need when you click on. So that's one site. So your picture has a reference. Your information has a reference. Okay, and it is not Google. Google is a search engine. It is not a reference site. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Again, please finish dichotomous key first. Do not start working on the project and then accept a 0 for dichotomous key. We're at the end of the year. This is not the time to decide you're going to get zeros. So please finish dichotomous key. Tell you in a minute. I got 4 people who have done the quiz. And there's 15 people in this class. So if you know that that's you, and you don't know where the quiz is, if you've done the lesson, right up underneath the lesson, scroll down, there's the quiz. Please take the quiz. It is part of the grade. You turn in the worksheet, that's worth 25, and the quiz is worth 5 for a total of 30 points. So don't give away that 5 just because you didn't want to go back in there and take the quiz. All right, I will stop talking and let you do what you got to do. Remember, there's nothing accepted late after the 15th. Nothing. And again, you can check Infinite Campus to see your scores from the milestone test and see how it affected your grade. Some of y'all need to finish doing your work so you can pass. Jocelyn, did I answer your question? Okay. And I hope everybody else was paying attention as to how I made that chart. Like I said, that's how I do it in Word. You might have a different device because you all use Cami. But in any case, you are tell it to make a table, and then you can have it as many rows and columns as you need on the table. You need 3 columns and 7 rows. Seven, 8. If you could include the row with the picture, that's 8. And the same thing for the other one. So that's part of neat and organized. Mhm. Um, I remember somebody last time wanted to do red tiger lilies. Send me the website that you're trying to go to, Jocelyn, and I'll see if I can't get it unblocked. Why did you do that? Let me see if I can invent a. Send me the website that you're trying to get to, and I'll see if I can't send it to Mr. Phillips and ask him to unblock it. Um, Give me 1 second. Oh, those are beautiful. Um, let's try this. Um, no, I want you to that's because that's a pretty flower. So let me see if I have a site here. All right, see what I can get into, you all can't necessarily get into. Let's try this one. All right, I put a link in the chat and see if that will help you. Um, so that site should help you with animals. Let me know if you can if you can get into that site. Somebody try that. The link I just sent you. Let me know if you can get in there because it has a list of a whole. It's blocked too. All right, this site I'm going to ask him to um, undo. So let me because this will help. So let me just do animals in general. Okay. May take a few minutes. Well, that'll be helpful for animals. Then I'll find a similar one for plants. While this is coming up, let me find that. My computer is so slow. Sometimes it's exasperating. Where's the other one? So let me type in. Let me see if I can find a different. Flower show. This is huge. Yep, that's not gonna work either. All right, let me do this first one. If I can't get. Oh, there is one. Okay, so there is one for plants as well. So I'm gonna ask him to do both. All right, so I'm going to do that one. Oh, there's nothing on that page. Never mind. Actually, it only does animals. It does not do plants. All right, well, at least you. Yes, question. All right, that site. So the animal site works for. I give you animal site? No, I looked at it. The overall, it's already added in. So no, I know. I was kind of disappointed to see that. No, no. Let me see. He hasn't answered me yet. Mhm. Keep trying other websites. I put in for this one, and I'll have to wait till he comes back to me. He may not get to that this period. So let's see what else we can find. Yeah. Okay. Tell you what I'm going to do for you, because you can't get in there. Okay. Okay. A lot of times they're just trying to sell you a plant. Let me see how I can do it. That's hard. All right, I'm gonna keep working on this. There might be something that you all would have to do. Um, you may- a lot of these flowers, when you look them up, especially since they're pushing Mother's Day. What was that thing I did the first time? And if you look up things on Wikipedia, those are blocked too. You might have to use Wikipedia for this. Um, he wants to know who is blocked. Jocelyn. Actually, Let me see what if you. Okay, he's responding, so we might get it unblocked, but to get it unblocked, you're gonna have to look at it quick because you might. Well, sure. Okay, good. All right. So the link that I sent y'all earlier is now unblocked. So if you scroll back, folks, to the one that says animal, actually tiger lily symbolism, that should be unblocked now. At least he unblocked it for Josh. I don't know if he unblocked it for everybody. Does anybody else want to use that for an animal site? Jocelyn, I looked up whale sharks on that one, and you could get to whale shark on that one too. Just type it in the message box. You're welcome. All right, so Chris, you got in, and so what you want. Anybody else having trouble getting to a site that they really want to use? You tell me before we go, because we got like 5 minutes. I guess I lost my. All right, lovely people, we got 1 minute left to class. Any questions before you go? All right, well, I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.